Well, I go back to what Yogi Berra said. If you don't have bullpen, you don't have nothing. And, especially in modern baseball, bullpen is the key. But you got to have the starting staff not to overwork your bullpen, which is one reason, they work hand in hand, which I think one reason why we had the best bullpen, because they weren't overworked, because our starters went more innings than anybody in baseball. So that's why they're called starters, and that way we could mix and match, or not have to overwork a guy, especially early in the season. Early in the season, your bullpen does a whole bunch of the work because your starters aren't really prepared to go that deep. And then hopefully in the middle, the starters pick up their innings, bullpen's workload decreases, and then there comes a point in time in the season when you share the workload with both of them.
Anything new on Montero when
No.
he'll get here?
No. That's a question I've answered every year. Visa problems.
Dusty, you mentioned the other day you called Maldonado professor. What does it say about him the way he played injured at the end of last year?
Well, that's what you kind of paid to do. There's a difference between injury and hurt. And he didn't complain. This guy wants to play, and he wants to contribute. He wants to win, and it's a perfect example for for the young players. You come to play.
You lost to Ledmus Diaz. That's I think you talked about it a ton, but it was a pretty vital number. I guess, how do you view the utility role going forward? And Hensley's here, Devon. Would you like one of them to kind of assert themselves?
No, not one. I'd like both of them, and some of our other guys that we haven't had a chance to look at. We're going to try to field the best team that we have. Some of it's on what we see, maturity level in the game. Some of it depends on what they did last year and what we have projected for them to do this year, and see if we can put them in a situation to succeed as often as possible.
You were talking about yesterday, talking to Tucker. You guys are talking about contract extensions right now. You have to help them keep from being distracted. All that talk, like say Tucker or Fromm.
Well, I just remind them, which one comes first. Performance and what you do, and then the money will follow. It's not the other way around. If you worry about the money that's coming, there's a good chance it'll never get there. You guys have waited on checks in the mail, right? Still waiting. So it's like, you just go play. You just play, do what you do best, enjoy what you're doing, and the money will follow.
Dusty, talk about enjoying what you're doing. Obviously, you decided to come back. What is this like for you being out here? It's Groundhog Day, I know, to some people, but clearly you enjoy this part of the process, don't you?
Somewhat. I enjoy the season better. Spring training is kind of a necessary ill. Spring training is fun for the fans, but for us, it's work. Anything that you do at 6 o'clock in the morning and you might not go to bed or get home, you got 12-hour days, and you get 2 days off a month, which I'm not complaining about, but hey, man, we had one for a long time, and so if you don't do your homework, you don't pass the test, and this is what this is homework. You're preparing your body and your mind for the daily grind, and because it becomes daily, and whichever team or individuals are the strongest mentally and physically on a daily basis, that's who usually wins.
So you're also training for the season grind, coming out here and doing this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's some days you're not going to feel like working like you do other days, but that's the same way during the season. Every day's not the same. There's some days you're not feeling it, but you but you're playing for that one fan that comes to that one day when you don't feel it. You know what I mean? And you're playing for your teammates.
Thank you.
I mean, he's a special person, special ball player, and I'm extremely happy to have Michael back. It's hard to imagine life without Michael Brantley around here. But we're hoping that he comes. He's ready on time. If not, I would liken it to like a Kawhi Leonard situation, with the Clippers, where when you do get him back, it's a big plus, for the team on the field and off the field.
What makes him such a special hitter? You always hear it, man, Michael Brown's a professional hitter. I mean, what stands out when you watch him in the box?
Well, like I've been watching Michael Brantley hit for a long time.
Yeah.
And, he's one of the guys that that I use as an example to young people. He came up as the opposite field hitter that learned to pull the ball. And it's hard to get a pull hitter to teach him how to hit to the opposite field. So, he's the kind of guy that I tell my son to watch, because he has a great idea on what he's doing, and he works on it.
He took ground balls at first yesterday. Is that just a spring training thing?
We're not seriously considering it, but I mean, how much first base can he play with a Brady? So, it's just, just gives us another option and gives him another option.
What do you want to see more consistent? What do you want to see more consistent from Chaz this spring?
Well, it's hard to say what I want to see this spring. You want to see more consistency during the season. Right. This spring is just, like I always say, it's like, doing your homework for the season. Just to progress. Sometimes, we're looking for improvements here and there, but the main thing is you want a ball player to get better. To get more relaxed, to get more determined, to get smarter, and hopefully, this comes in time. Everybody talks about, since I was in this game, they talk about the sophomore jinx, or that's not a jinx. It's a matter, which I found, it's a matter of how quickly you can make the adjustments to what they're trying to do to you. How they're pitching you. How they're playing you, the things that you can notice, what they're doing to you sooner rather than later.
With Michael Brantley getting some work at first, the potential of versatility for the player, versatility for the team, how much can that benefit?
It can benefit. I'm not really paying a whole bunch of attention to it, really. Like you guys are. It's just, Michael's just over there working.
Anything new on Lance?
No. Nope. Nothing new yet. The trainer says he's feeling better, getting better. So, these things you just don't get well overnight in most cases. Right?
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.